America, I come to you to notify you of a problem that we have. As you can tell in the rest of the world, there's a lot of civil unrest going on, and that's causing a lot of fear and paranoia throughout the world. We see these riots going on in all these countries. People on both sides are starting to get hurt. Unfortunately, that disease is starting to spread its way into America, and in fact, I believe it's already here. And it's just waiting for a reason to come out. I'm not too sure if anyone is familiar with the story of the War of the Worlds, but that narrative was such a with all the paranoia and fear that was going on in the world, people took that story very seriously. And I'm not too sure if anyone is familiar with some of these viral videos going around. With the snow that we just had, just this season, it went viral that there were nanobots in the snow because it wasn't melting. I do have my theories on the chemtrails and whatnot, but I did not believe it was nanobots by any means. I did believe that there was some chemical alteration with the snow, which was causing this phenomenon to happen. But once again, science debunked that theory, and I found out it's sublimation. I might have said that wrong. Sublimation, and that's when matter goes from one state to another, skipping the intermediate. So, in this case, the water was solid, and then it turned to gas immediately. Anyways, and so all it's going to take is one wrong viral video to go out, and all these psychopaths who are hoarding ammo and preparing for the end of the world are going to come out of their woodwork, and the real psychopaths are going to start raising hell. And we need to prevent this from happening, because I don't want anyone to get raped or pillaged by no means, especially because there's no logic involved. And the thing is, as a combat veteran myself, this fear-mongering has been getting the better of me, and making my transition back into civilian life a whole lot more difficult. And so really, we need to do something about this situation before it perpetuates into absolute madness, and not orchestrated by me. Madness that's psychopathic. Cream soda, Virgil's, good stuff. Do a little product placement for them because I believe in it. It's really good. Microcraft frosty cold beverages, pop. Anyways, a little personal note about myself. But in all seriousness, part of the reason why I don't have any weapons is because of this fear-mongering, and I don't want to have anything that could be related to any suspicions. That's just another dot that goes against me, and I don't want to have that data point, which is why I'm urging everyone to stand up now, so we can use our First Amendment to prevent anything from happening. Because if we have to start using our Second Amendment, that's the wrong that's the wrong answer. We need to do escalation of force here, and in order to do that, we need to use what we have, and that is our voice and our constitutional rights. And we need to say we need to start fixing problems, because there's a lot of psychopaths out there. There's a lot of rings. It's not drug rings. It's money laundering rings, because people are set up in these positions where they're falsifying the help they're actually administering to the public, which is causing the casualties of others. And at the same time, they're giving the American public lip service of all these things that they're doing, and but there's no excuse as to why things are still turning out the way they are, and that basically demonstrates insanity. Because when you do something over and over again and expect different results, I mean, you're not going to get different results because you're running the operation the same, and that's insane. And the reason why people keep that operation running the same way is because they're profiting off of it, and it needs to be exposed. I'm not trying to be heroic in my endeavors, but unfortunately, that's what I'm being led to do because no one else is willing to stand up for what they believe in. I can't stand up for everyone. I'm trying to. I really can't. And this world is sick, and it's filled up with a bunch of nasty people, and we need to do something about it because I'm sorry, I don't want to have I don't want to have a bunch of psychopaths, legitimate psychopaths who are really riddled with fear and paranoia, taking away the rights of others. It's not fair. Excuse me. Many people are profiting off this fear mongering and all that. I bought into it, and at times, and I realized I had to step away from those things. And at the same time, I'm seeing where it's going. It's PTSD of the television, of media. One keeps on being shown these disturbing images, and one is led to believe that this is the way it is. No. Change the channel. That's all you have to do. There's a lot of good in this world. There's a lot of good in this world, and there's a lot of potential. I see every day I come across future leaders who are, they haven't been suppressed. The real world hasn't held them down yet, and that's where my hope is. I'm hoping that the ones who haven't been corrupted yet actually, take heed to this warning and start applying some of this logic into their lives to avoid a potential risky situation, because that's where we're headed at. These people who are, all it's going to take is, the 21st century version of the War of the Worlds, and that's going to cause us to be under a police state. And you can't argue that. You can't argue that that's the means that we have to come to in order to assure public safety. As a combat infantryman, I practiced search and seizure, and training and whatnot, and we were treated everyone like a criminal or like a prisoner, even if they were on our side. That's you handle everyone the same way, because when a service member is sent to do a job, we do the job and we control the situation by whatever means, and that's why we have strict processes and procedures for those processes. Or I might have had this little vice versa, but yeah, still get the point. Try not to get into too much of that. The thing is, in order to ensure public safety, there needs to be a sense of control, and it must be under an authoritative control, and that control needs to outgun, outarm, outman the opposition. And it doesn't need to come to that, because the public servants who are sent to do these jobs they're not happy about having to do it either, because they are humans also. Their home is next door to you. And so why are we going to start turning one another, or turning each other against one another? That doesn't make any sense. And so we need to kind of nip this in the butt before it progresses any further. I thoroughly believe that the American public will stand up and do the right thing. We need to do something and one person cannot do it all. We have to recognize the problem, and we have to recognize that there are people out there laundering money from our pockets, who are, like I said, first off, they're banking off the fear-mongering, and especially, I'm sorry, I'm kind of, I didn't have this State of the Union address prepared. It just kind of had to come about. But veterans, we're basically going, this is a modern-day Salem witch trial. And any author who is interested in writing a book, please contact me. Sorry, I'm plugging my stuff too. Do my own commercials. We're being crucified without any due process, all because of fear-mongering. People want to assume that all we did was shoot them in the face. The number one job of any service member is to be more disciplined and more knowledgeable, to be more than the opposition, to deter the opposition from even thinking about doing anything against us, or anything that's just to deter them from doing anything, from acting out, because the odds are always against them, because we are service members of the United States, and that is what we do, each and every one of us, and even the public servants. We're an intimidating force, and we try to use that presence to deter others from the wrongdoing. So, yeah, rule number one, that's number one. We go in there and we try to just present an intimidating presence, so no one gets hurt. Number two, we educate. We go in there and we work with the population the best we can to negotiate efforts, because we have to work with people. Part of my mission during 2008, 2009 was winning the hearts and minds. We were rebuilding Iraq, and that's what we do. It wasn't, we weren't kicking in doors and doing all that crazy crap. So that's, sorry to disappoint you that, because any real leader will tell you that they don't want Rambo on their team for a few reasons. The primary one is that he's a psychopath. The second reason is he is not an efficient fighter. He sprays and prays. You want to use as little resources on the mission to get the job done. You want to use it. It's all about resource management, and he doesn't manage his resources very well. Because you want to be able to make the most use out of the mission, and you never know one never knows what can happen. Pardon me. The educational system needs to be fixed very badly, because the teachers even use poor grammar, speaking in second person. But the perception of what a service member actually does is being held against them. This is, we're heroes overseas, then we come back and we're zeros. And people are dying because people aren't doing the right thing. They're not standing up in their position and saying, "Hey, this is wrong." They're giving in to cowardice, and that's why a lot of this is going on, and no one believes in anything, because there's a lot of cowards in this world. No one's ever stood up for what they believed in. It's not that hard. It's all we need to do is just open up communication and talk to one another. And going back, as I said, I'm sorry I didn't have this State of the Union actually prepared. I just felt the urgency to get something out to the public, to disseminate as much information as possible, because I'm facing a lot of resistance right now. A lot of resistance. And the more resistance I face, the more sure I am of the direction I'm heading to is the correct one. And and if in case something happens to me, I just want people to know I was fighting a good fight for you. Promise you, I always will. I'm a public servant, and that's my job. But the only way I can do anything is if we unite and work together for a common effort, so we can stop these criminal organizations that are extorting our funds through fundamentally lip service. Using propaganda. They're using veterans for their best interest because they're profiting off of us. At the same time, we're being thrown to the wayside because everyone just wants to think that we're crazy. Crazy because we find something to live and die for rather than just living without a purpose. I'm sorry. I really am. I'm sorry that the passion of a majority of the population has disappeared. I would like that to change. I'm asking for change. Change can only happen from within. I really should get some more light on this situation. As I said, I didn't have this prepared. Thank you for your time. Let's do something, America. The time is now. Let's police ourselves before we have to be policed. Government intervention should be the last resort. I'm trying to address this concern merely as a warning that a few bad apples are going to spoil it for all of us. They really are. I mean, Adam Kokesh, practicing civil disobedience, going to D.C., loading a shotgun. I commend the guy for actually standing up for what he believes in. I do not approve of the way he did it. But he did something, which is more than most of the population. But he's a Marine. And you see how he acted? I'm Army. And you see how I act? Point for the Army. And if I'm going to practice civil disobedience, I'm also going to practice civil compliance. It's all negotiations. We use the First Amendment so we don't have to resort to the Second. We use the First Amendment so we don't have to resort to the Second. That applies to both sides, the government and the American people. Size up the situation. We need to prevent this disease from spreading any further. As I said, in order to create any change, it's basically going to be performing a transplant surgery. We need to go inside our communities and start policing it, because there's some pockets of paranoia that need to be stimulated in a more positive direction. I don't want War of the Worlds to happen, and when I don't want to have any government intervention in my life any more than I already do have. But if no one is going to stand up and do something, we are going to lose it all. All. Every single bit of it. And you know what? Yeah, the world is a scary place. But I trust my neighbor. I mean, that's the thing. You know, trust your neighbor. It's the best advice I can give you. Put trust in your neighbor. Believe in them. That's all you can do. I am speaking directly to you, each and every one of you. Because if I can do this, anybody else can. All you have to do is try. Really. Thank you for your time, America. And I'm just trying to lead. Please, I don't want to be a hero. Alright? Let's do something. Be safe.